Hi everybody, this is Reese Counts with Autoblog. Today we are here with a 2018 Audi S5 Coupe. We got Michael behind the camera. If you guys have any questions, let us know. We're going to do one of our usual live drive walk-arounds. It's a little windy as usual, so I'm going to try to speak up. So this is the S5 is new for 2018. And think of this as essentially a two-door S4. Now they do make the S5 Sportback, which is kind of like a small S7, so hatchback, four-door coupe business. It's a lot of nonsense and marketing words. So, as you can see here, this one's got the sport package. It's with the red brake calipers. We've got the 19-inch wheels with summer tire, which is perfect for this kind of weather. Under the hood, we've got a single turbo V6 with 354 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. That engine replaces the old supercharged engine, supercharged V6. It makes a little bit more horsepower, quite a bit more torque, and you can really feel it. The supercharger is a lot more linear, but the way Audi's got this with the turbo right in the V, torque comes on low and quick. Now, I'm pretty big fan of the styling. Yes, you could say it looks like every other Audi, and yes, it doesn't look all that much different than the old S4 and A4. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a handsome evolution. As you can see, with all the S models, it's got the quad exhaust tips. With the standard S or A5 has got two small dual outlets. Then the S ones have quad, and then the RS have two really big oval ones. You know, this one's this nice, like I think it's called Daytona Gray. Don't quote me on that. But it's a nice shade. I like something that pops a little more, but you know, gray looks pretty good. I think it looks good with these wheels. And once you get inside, we can see this nice interior. But some other little things, I like the S badges. I like the silver mirror caps. Well, it's a handsome little car. But let me pop the hood and show you something we just found out that's really nice.
Let us know if you guys have any questions. Type them out in the comments.
Let us know where you're watching from. This hood's surprisingly heavy. I popped it a few minutes ago. It takes a little. So, yes, like I said, this is the single turbo V6. 354 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque, 3 liters. I don't know the angle of the V, but it looks like a 90 degree, maybe a little narrower. But, as you can see, big engine cover. But, look at this. Pop it off. And you can actually see the turbo. It's like right there, which is kind of awesome. I was genuinely shocked by that. So, like I said, the turbo is set right in the middle. So the exhaust ports are in the center and the intake is on the side. That's kind of reversed of how a traditional engine is. But means like quicker response from the turbo because there's less piping to spool it up. So rather than firing it up like we usually do and listening to it from the back, we're gonna fire it up and like you can hear the turbo from the front. Sounds pretty good. I was genuinely like shocked by that. So let's pop that back on and go for a ride. So you guys have heard me talk about it before. I love red leather, so I was quite pleased. I think it looks really good with the gray paint exterior, and I think it looks good with the dark roof and the black dash and everything in here. There's lots of red stitching, but these are really comfortable seats. They're kind of a quilted leather, which is not everybody's dig, but I think it looks pretty nice. Everybody's kind of doing it, so it's not that original anymore. This has got carbon fiber trim. Not my favorite either, but it's real carbon fiber, so I'll give Audi somewhat of a pass on this. So if you've seen some of the other videos with the A4, the A5, pretty much from like here forward, it's all the same. It's nice, clean design, but it's nothing like new or different. We've got Audi's virtual cockpit up here, which is super nice. We can change the view. Let's do there. Turn the map on, which is always really nice. But we're going to keep it in the kind of sport mode. I'll keep the map over here. I have it set up right now with the drive select. We've got comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. I already did individual. So I've got dynamic engine, which is the most power and transmission, comfort suspension, comfort steering, but I want the sport differential and the loud exhaust. I think some of the exhaust noise is faked, but we're going to ignore that. Enjoy it. So this has got the now ubiquitous ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. It's in just like, seems like damn near everything anymore. That's not a bad thing. It's a really, really good transmission. And I was actually talking to Greg about this yesterday or the day before, and in most applications, I think I would take this over a dual clutch. Unless I'm really going to track a car, the ZF is like nearly as quick and a lot smoother like when you're not kind of on it. Dual clutches are a little weird, especially at low speeds, because it's, you know, it's acting like an automated manual, so it's got to work a clutch. Not very linear, but this is great when you need it to be, smooth when you don't. I'm going to put it in manual mode for at least right now. And we are going to go while we've got an opportunity. This thing is quick. Not that loud from inside. What you do here is really nice. The V6 is not the best sounding V6 I've ever heard, but it's still really good. V6s are a real hit and miss. V8s usually sound great, like inline 6s always sound great. V6s, this is one of the better ones out there. I just wish it was a little bit louder, but it's fine. I still miss the days when the S4 and the S5 came with the 4.2 liter V8. I mean, that was a real monster. You can also get it with manual transmission. So if anybody ever finds one of those and wants to deal with the maintenance, I highly recommend it. But
what are we looking at for price for this?
So the S5 starts at about $55,000. This has got about 10 grand worth of options. So I think the exact sticker on this with destination is $64,750. Part of that is it's got the Bang & Olufsen sound system. It's got the S-Sport package with the sport differential and bigger brakes. It's got I think the Magma, the color interior is several $100s, and then it's got like a $1,200 like higher grade leather option. A few other little things here and there. I think the moonroof is extra, but yeah, about 10 grand worth of options. So right at $65,000, which is not cheap, but it's a luxury like sport coupe, and you can't really expect it to be. God, it's quick. The steering, let's turn it back to full dynamic, and I'll get the heavier steering. Steering is fine. I like the wheel itself. I like the weight. The feedback is all right. I think some of the competition still does it better, but it's quiet, it's comfortable, and like from a dead stop, the S5 does 0 to 60 in like 4.5 seconds, I believe. So really, really damn quick. Let's get over here. If you guys have any questions, I'll try to answer them. I liked the old supercharged V6, even though it was a bit down on power compared to the old V8. Now, with this new turbo V6, we finally, like the S5 has finally got about as much power and torque as the old light natural aspirated V8. Now, that V8 was awesome and one of the best sounding engines of all time, but it was terrible with fuel economy, and it just like emissions, and it was kind of a dated engine, which is unfortunate because it was really something special. This V6 is good. I actually do like it better than the supercharged engine, which I was kind of surprised about. I like superchargers. I like the linear power delivery, but maybe it's just because this has got like 40 or 44 more pound-feet of torque that comes on like real low. I think max peak torque is like 1,250 RPM, which is nothing. This thing idles just below 1,000, so downshifts sound really good. It blips the throttle. Let's see if we can get another brake. So this is, of course, sends power through Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive system. So redline is right about 6,500, and it will pull to redline. And like I said, shifts are real quick. It's not like PDK or dual clutch quick, but it's smooth. It's quiet, or smooth when you want it to be. Like I said, drivability is way better for this car.
No manual, right?
No manual option anymore, which is unfortunate. You used to be able to get this car with a manual. And it was a lot of fun. So
why would you get this over a competitor?
Competitors for this, I guess, would be the 4 Series, the C43 AMG Coupe. If you go back in the video feeds, we tested one of those a few weeks ago. In the week, we did like 4 or 5 videos all at once. I actually like this better. I like the looks of the Mercedes better, and some of the interior bits. But I think I like the way this drives. I like the power delivery better. I think it sounds a little better, which is kind of shocking. Because I think that Mercedes sounds really good. I don't know. But the C43, maybe it's just like I'm judging it too much because it's got the AMG name on there and I expect it to be a little more special. It was just a really fast C-Class coupe. And this is just a really fast A5. But because it's just an S5, I don't expect it to be a rocket. With throwing the AMG name on a vehicle really sets some high standards. The same for the M240i or M450. I think there's an M440. I'd have to look. BMW's naming conventions are just crazy at this point. It's got no relation to the actual displacement of the vehicle. Or the engine.
So the exhaust of this car versus the AMG.
This is a little quieter. I think I remember the AMG being a little louder, but I think I prefer the exhaust note. Maybe it's because the turbo's kind of right up top, and you can still hear it a little bit. It's probably not coming through really all that great on the phone, but it sounds really good. I mean, there's a nice crack out in back, nice little burble. Pulls when you want it to. I'll put it back in comfort, and things quiet down. It's not nearly as loud. The suspension, I had it in comfort already, or the comfort suspension because the individual customization. But yeah, this is good. Now that Silverado almost got rear-ended by that Ford because nobody looks in their mirrors anymore. But yeah, I like this. I still don't know if I would buy one over an S4. I think I kind of like the looks of the S4 better. It's just there's a few lines on the S5 and the A5 that I'm not a big fan of. I don't like the front end nearly as much. I like the kind of smaller, narrower grille. The S4's got the same engine, same transmission, same power, torque, everything, but it's got 4 doors. So it's a little more practical. It's less expensive. So I think I would definitely take this over a 4 Series. I think I would probably take this over a C43 as well. I don't know. I just wasn't super blown away by the C43. And not that I am with this, it's just I think there's little things. I think the interior on this is actually a little better. Maybe it's just the touch points. I remember the steering wheel on the C43 did not feel good. The leather was not that high quality. This feels real nice. I like the squared off bottom, even though it's another one of those things. It's kind of chintzy and everybody's doing it, but it looks nice. I like the instrument cluster a whole lot. I mean, Audi Virtual Cockpit is great. All the customization. Like I said, being able to adjust the view and have the map and everything on here. Sorry guys, waiting for a brake in traffic. Let's see if I can get it after this Cadillac. Where did it go now? They're doing some construction on our usual route, so we're gonna have to take a back way, but that's no big deal. This is the park coming in. Starting to get a little cool here in Michigan. Temperatures dropped off real quick. Like right at the beginning, last week of August, it dropped. Like nights are getting into mid to low 50s. It's jacket weather, which is great, but you know, come a couple months and you're gonna see us out here in coats and doing this in snow. I'll try to get some good cars.
Yeah, we're gonna need some snow tires for sure.
Yeah, everything was. We had our old long-term Miata. We had Mazda and Bridgestone were kind enough to supply us with high-performance winter tires, which until I moved to Michigan, I did not know that was a thing. The Miata in snow, we had a Miata Club, so it had that limited slip. That thing was great. You could like cane it everywhere, just get little slips, and you weren't going more than 25 to 30 miles an hour. And it's so easy to reel back in.
How's the fuel economy on this?
Fuel economy, so I think this is, I wrote it up yesterday. I think it's 24 city, 30 highway, maybe 24 combined. It's like 30 highway. It's fine. It's pretty good for a high horsepower V6 and a big coupe. So, you know, mid to high 20s is what you should reasonably expect. Unless you're like super heavy, like city traffic. And then, you know, if you live in a big city like Los Angeles or New York where traffic just blows all the time, you know, city ratings are like a hopeful measure. But like so we've got Audi's MMI, which is fine layout, but I like hate that it's like not a touchscreen because I had Android Auto set up in here. It's just a pain in the ass to use because it feels like a touchscreen. Our long-term A4s always had fingerprints on the screen because people were trying. So a few other things, I like the space down here. A couple USB ports, auxiliary port, armrest slides. Nice little pockets. I really like the cabin in this. Like the dash is kind of forward and like high, despite being really dark in here. It feels pretty like open and airy. The A-pillars are surprisingly small for like any modern vehicle because, you know, airbags and cross structure. But like, there's still a lot of good forward visibility. The rear visibility is pretty great too. I mean, the rear window is pretty open. Yeah, this thing's kind of easy. It's easy to drive, easy to park. But let's do another real quick walk around. If you guys don't have any questions,
Screen doesn't retract, right?
No, it does not. The A3 does. It like pops up and goes back down into the dash. It looks neat, and you can turn it all off. And but you know, a lot of people complain about like the big screens, like kind of like iPad attached to the dash. And it's not the greatest thing, but I had an interior designer like explain it to me. And if you put, everybody wants big screens for navigation and infotainment, but if you put it in the dash, it like forces everything outwards. The vents are at all weird angles. Buttons get like pushed down here. So yes, it sucks up there, but there's not really a better place to put it if you like want a full dash. Now, we've got a car coming next week that I want to drive, and I'll show you just a total alternative to that, but we'll get to that when we do. Other than that, there's not much different that we haven't covered in other Audi videos. It's same interior as always. Yeah, nice. So, real quick, let's see if we can show them the seatbelt arm.
Oh, yeah.
So,
maybe you go, right?
So we're coming here, let's see if we do it real quick. I just locked it, so now. So we sit down. Seatbelt's not doing it now. So, well, I was hoping I could trigger it, but doesn't seem to want to do it right now. But, alright, so back on the outside, like I said, this is the Audi S5. It's essentially a two-door version of the A4 sedan. There's a four-door version of the A5 Sportback. It's got a hatch. Everybody's doing like what they call the four-door coupe. It's a dumb like name for what's actually usually a pretty handsome motor vehicle. I like the design. It looks like every other Audi, and that's fine. I kind of miss the days when every model was kind of individual, but there's something to be said about having like very distinct design language where you can look at a car and know immediately like what it is. Nice little accents like the S5 badges. Like I said, I like the silver mirror caps. Just do a little bit to stand it off. I like the small amount of chrome like around the windows. I really kind of like the window line. It's this nice kink right here. It looks pretty good. The LED taillights. We can pop the trunk on this. It's actually pretty good. Lots of space in here. You see, do we have a full-size spare? No, donut. But it's better than BMW and having no spare at all. Yeah, like I said, S5 or LED taillights. Of course, the awesome quad exhaust tips. Always looks really good.
When's the RS5 Sportback coming?
RS5 Sportback. Eventually. I'm trying to get one in the fleet, but there's no RS5s available. So, working on that for you guys, but hopefully we'll see it soon. That's what I really want to drive. I mean, all the Audi RS models are really sweet. Lots of power. I think they look really good. They sound amazing. Audi V8's the best. Whether it's the old naturally aspirated 4.2 or the new like twin turbo units, it doesn't matter. And you give them the beans, and like very few cars move like that. Sometimes they can be a little like boring because there's no drama to it. They just like hook and move. There's no wheel spin. There's no real like fight from the traction control. Quattro is so good; it manages power better than arguably any all-wheel drive system at this price point. So it can be a little sterile. The steering's not perfect, but I don't know. It's still really fun, really fast, really comfortable. I love the interior. Yeah, 2018 Audi S5. If you guys don't have any more questions, we'll rev it up and call it.
Let's do it. Listen from the back this time around.
Yeah, we fired up in the front so we can listen to that engine, but
Reached it, said he's trying to change the drive select.
There's a nice little burble from Overrun. It's not super loud. I would like it maybe be a little bit louder, but it sounds good. Nice crackle, nice pop. When you're laying on it, like those upshifts like pop, pop, pop. But Audi S5 Coupe. It's a nice little car.